Hello, 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 everybody. It's me. I'm back, and I have a ton of stuff to talk about. But the thumbnail, there's a lot to explain. But I went to an estate sale one time, and I wore what I considered like a superhero outfit because I like to be normal and blend in wherever I go. And now I'm much more mature than I was then, which is totally true, right? Yeah, I'm much more mature now. So this is the mask that I wore. I actually constructed this mask to go to benefit, and I loved this. I made it out of like a fake money plant, and then I glued rhinestones on it. Anyways, this was part of the outfit, and I loved this mask and haven't worn it in a long time. But anyways, I went to work an estate sale in Cleveland, and that was my outfit of choice for the day. And you wonder why the person didn't keep me very long. Actually, he kept me for 5 years. And then I decided to leave because I wasn't happy. Anyways, so cutting to the chase here, I dressed up like a superhero and I worked the estate sale in Cleveland, and then I went to a sale down the street, which was my other friend's sale. And she, as soon as I walked in, she's like, "It's Jason. Of course it's Jason. Why wouldn't he be dressed like a superhero?" So long story short, this video is to talk about like my time in the estate sales, and then also some of the things that I've found. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Please go to my past videos and watch them, and go to my short feeds, and please hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of you are watching me on your TV and you are unable to hit the subscribe button. So please, when you go on your phone and you go to YouTube on your phone, please, 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 for my sake and for everybody on YouTube, please go and hit the subscribe button for all of us. And please like our videos, because otherwise our channels don't grow as fast, and some of us really depend on the way our videos are being viewed. So just so you know, we do depend on that. And all of us here on YouTube, all of us people that try and educate, and also sellers, really appreciate your kindness and your love. So thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. As to my viewers, I love you so much. You've become friends, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't smile because of having the love and affection that you supply me. I am going to start doing many more videos, and also taking you with me to shop. And then I talked with Jeremy, who's my partner, and I asked him if we could start to do some sales on YouTube, very randomly and not very often, and he said yes. But he has a very busy schedule, as do I, and just bear with us. We'll get an email set up, and we'll get all this set up, and then you just register. We'll have the sale. We'll bring some items on. It'll be a fixed price, buy it now situation. In the meantime, you can still go to my eBay, which so many of you have done, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. You have been so generous with your orders on eBay. You just go to my main page on YouTube, and the link to my eBay is there. So you most certainly can find my eBay listings, and you can purchase from me on eBay. Sitting on my desk is this gigantic vase that I bought down in Southern Ohio when me and Jeremy took our day trip there. It is a gigantic Campbell porcelain body and crystalline glazed vase, and this is one of the biggest and best I have ever seen. The crystals are full. They are surrounded by this metallic gold luster and a crystalline glaze in between. The size and the scale and the color of this is fantastic. It is 16 inches tall, which is very large for any crystalline glaze vase, because it's very difficult to get these crystals to grow and to be fully formed like this. And the color saturation inside of those crystals is truly magnificent, very magical, very earthy, very beautiful. And the form, this kind of broad shoulder and bulbous form, a tight foot, a tight, shoulder area, and then this flared rim with this kind of very finished edge on that, and those crystals go all the way around. So that is going to come into one of my future videos, but I just wanted to show you one of the treasures that I bought when I was down in Southern Ohio, because a lot of you have already asked. Another video on that is coming very, very soon. And then from the estate sale in Cleveland, look at this beaded flower arrangement. This has been with me, and that thumbnail was from about 12 or 14 years ago. And look at this beaded flower that I found in a beautiful French very, very beautiful French gold gilt porcelain container. And look at those beaded flowers. Yeah, it's a little dusty. It needs to be cleaned up. I haven't touched this for a very long time, but look at the ornateness of these flowers. A blue edge and then white on the inside, black on the inside of that, and then these applied rim of beads to give further detail inside of those delicious and beautiful flowers that'll never die. I have a very large holding of beaded flowers, which I'll bring to a future video. And my challenge with Tanya was to bring on items that we both love. So Tanya at My Jewelry Addiction. If you're not familiar with Tanya, please go over to her channel because you will be delighted by what you see. She is an active seller on YouTube, but she's also an artist and she's just magnificent. And we have this challenge of like bringing things on of things that we love and then doing separate videos on those. And I'm going to do a video on the beaded flowers as something that I truly love because I have so many of them. Here's another one stationed right here, just out of the frame. And these are also all glass seed bead. And why I kept this one is I really loved this Belgian Arts and Crafts two-handled vessel. And look at the drippy glaze, but the flowers were awesome. The color saturation, every flower looked like it's supposed to, like a calla lily with this center portion, and forsythia that looks exactly like forsythia does, and a great big iris. You know, this is just a fantastic thing. And again, dusty. Oh, there's a poinsettia. I mean, when would you ever see a poinsettia with an iris? You just wouldn't. Oh, these little sweet peas hanging out of the corner here that have like a vine design. So it looks real. Another gigantic purple iris. And it just keeps going and going and going. I loved this one too. So I was known for beaded flowers and I thought I'm going to bring these two on just as a quick sample. So I'll get these cleaned up and I'll bring them back on. But this is a gigantic arrangement, but those are all glass seed beads that are wired on by hand. The amount of work that it took to put that together, I really respected that very well. So I'm going to go over to the light box now and show you some of the treasures that I found when I was dressed up as a superhero and went to an estate sale. I don't recommend that you go to every estate sale dressed up as a superhero, but it's what I did because like I said, I was crazy back in the day and some days I still am. And I think that's why some of you are here because you know my honesty. And it's true. You know, I'm going to tell you the way it was and tell you the things that I did and share my life with you as well. Some of the jewelry I'm wearing today, I'll get into that when I get into the light box. But this is a beautiful bracelet that I did buy from Tanya at My Jewelry Addiction. It's carnelian and sterling silver. And then a ring that I produced. And of course, I have it on upside down. There's the way it reads better. And isn't that just so special? I loved that ring. And I haven't worn that in a very long time. Oh, and then a beetle ring with little diamonds. In sterling silver. I believe that everyone needs a good luck beetle, so there's mine, and just my other two bracelets that I wear every day. So anyways, and a bakelite brooch, but you can't really see it because I'm a little out of the frame today. Should have had this down a little bit, so we'll just move that down a little. And then a normal turquoise pendant that I've been wearing that's been my usual. I shouldn't say normal because nothing's normal in my life. And then turquoise beads from China. We'll go over to the light box. I'll show you some of the treasures that I found, and thank you so much for all that you do for me. I'll see you in a second. Hold on. All right, everybody, welcome back. So this is the logo for Jeremy's coffee shop, and it's called Bully Run Coffee. This is not a paid advertisement, but a lot of you have asked me, how do we get to Jeremy's coffee website? So just go to www.bullyruncoffee.com, and this is Jeremy's logo that his lovely mother, Becky, designed for him. And he has a mobile coffee shop, and you can go online and order Jeremy's coffee. So many of you already have, and you've made him so incredibly happy. So thank you so much, and we really appreciate you not only ordering, but then reordering. So we'll pull that out of here for now, and we'll get right back into the video while you're here. So first things first, when I went to the second estate sale dressed up as my superhero self, I found these pieces, and I was very lucky because all the dealers had already been through, and most of the things were already picked over, but these were the very few things that I was able to pick up. And I'll just set these out, and then inside the box are just some loose beads that are emerald, ruby, and sapphire, but I don't want to dump those out just because I just don't want to have to pick all of them back up. So let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. And then this is an Opal Mosaic brooch. And normally these are set in gold, but this one is not set, and the pin back is just glued on. So I think that they thought this was just junk. I picked this up for $2, and that's a very sizable Mosaic opal. So those are genuine opal, and it is a doublet. So the opals are then laminated to this black part right here, black base stone, and then they're so carefully inlaid, and it's almost like a cobblestone design. I loved that because it looked like a modernist painting. It looked like just something out of the heavens. Beautiful, beautiful color saturation in the opals, and I'll tell you, I loved this. So that made me very happy. And that is something that I'm going to keep. I'm not going to sell that. And like I said, this has been with me for a long time now, and I just don't want to sell it. I've never worn it, but I probably will, or I will set it in silver. So I'll make a big silver mounting, and it would make a heck of a really cool ring. That would be an outstanding ring. And I would be tempted to put that into a ring. I really would. But I'll probably just wear it as it is. But I wanted to show you that. So please remember, you can go to an estate sale late and still do incredibly well. The ring that got me on the Antiques Roadshow in Cleveland in 2002, I brought it to a previous video. I believe it was one of my first videos, if not the first video. And it's a small compartment ring with a little harlequin face. And that got me on the Antiques Roadshow in 2002, and then also got me on the Jackpot show that they re-aired about 3 or 4 months later. So on PBS, it was actually aired on PBS, and I think people are still seeing it somewhere. I tried to find it on YouTube, and I still couldn't find it. This was 50 cents. Any of the jewelry that was unmarked in a little box was 50 cents. And I bought these 2 tie tacks, and these are both 14 karat gold, solid 14 karat gold, a beautiful Madeira citrine in this one, and a wonderful, I would guess probably, I would say that's an African amethyst. And both are in gold, beautifully mounted, beautifully done in these very, very beautifully executed handmade mountings. And I can't say anything but beautiful on these because they are. They're very classy. I would say on this one, I could probably get between 60 and 75 on this one, and I could probably get around 90, about $90 on this one, because just in gold on this one, it would be probably around $50 or $60. So that was a great buy. I guess why I show you things like that is because I want to show you that even when I was at the sales, I would buy less expensive things to then sell and make big profit to go out and buy the next weekend. This they completely missed. This was in the $3 jewelry, and I'm not sure why this survived, unless the other dealers just didn't see this. But it's marked right here, and it's $750. It's marked right there, 750, and that is 18 karat gold. So what I did is I brought this home, and I did scratch test this way down here on one end. On one of these flat surfaces, I just scratched that across the little block that I have, the little testing stone, and then I made sure that it's gold, and it did hold up for solid 18 karat. So why I show you this is if we pop this on my little scale, and by the way, you can get, let me zoom out a little bit. A lot of you have asked me what tools I use. I just use this very simple, tiny little pocket scale, and then my loop, which, let me bring this one in. So this loop has been with me forever. It's a 10-op, and this has like plastic lenses in it, so it's like a junky loop. It still did the job for me, and I think this was $4 or $5 back in the day, and you can see it's dusty, it's dirty, it's been with me forever, but it's a 10-op loop, and then this is what I used to then get in and take a look at those hallmarks. And like I've said to you before, what I would recommend, look how dusty the lens is. I'm surprised I can even see through that anymore, but for a plastic lens, it's just disposable. These weren't meant to be carried around for decades. But if you go, let's see if I can do this for you on camera. I've never tried this before. Well, kind of of works for you. All I would say is leave the item fixed in place and then move the loop, or leave the loop fixed to your eye, like right there. Look at all that lint in there. And then bring the item to you. Bring it up to you so then you can see the hallmarks better. So leave the loop fixed in place and then bring the item up to you so that you can read those hallmarks. Don't move both things. Don't move the bracelet and the loop. That's a beginner's mistake. Leave the loop fixed in place right by your eye so you look right through that, and then you bring that item right up to the loop. That's the easiest way to use a loop. At any rate, that's one of the things I always bring with me. I never leave home without my loop, and I don't wear one around my neck. I see a lot of dealers wearing things around their neck, and that telecasts, hello, I am a dealer and a reseller, and then sometimes prices change quite drastically and very fast. 12.4 grams of 18 karat gold, and for a matter of the few dollars that I paid for it, I believe that now scrap on this would be around 600. Yeah, I'm bad at numbers. I'm really bad with math because I'm an artist, but that would be, I think that's around $600. Yeah, that would be around $600 just in scrap. And then this one was 14 karat gold, and this was also $3, but this was tangled up in a whole bunch of costume, so I couldn't really fault them or blame them on this, but this one is signed. Let me see here. A lot of times they're signed right here. I think it is. And if not, it's signed on the inside when you open that up. But that one is 14 karat. That would be around $300 and something dollars. $325, I think, today's gold price. I do not check gold every day. There are some sellers and some buyers that do. I don't discourage it. I just don't base what I buy on what the metals are doing. There, it's marked on the inside. So they marked the 14K, and that's upside down. But they marked this on the tongue there, so you had to open this to see that hallmark. It wasn't marked right here like most are, so they just missed the mark. Plus, it was tangled in a big lot of stuff, and this is 28 inches long. 28 inches long gold rope, and that's solid gold. That's a solid rope. It's not hollow. It's very beautiful, very handsome. Would be the perfect wearable length and extremely sellable. If you went out to the store right now, I would think that that would run you probably $700 or $800 in the store right now. Probably closer to $800, actually. Yeah, I would say probably $800 because I think gold is 3 times its price when it goes retail. So yeah, I would say that might even be $900. But I loved those two. And again, let me show you. So you've sometimes asked me about the different golds. Look how much more yellow this is. A very buttery yellow. I don't think many people show this on YouTube, so I'm glad I stopped. I almost caught myself. And, you know, I would press stop on the camera and go, darn it, I wish I would have shown this. There's so much I forget to show you before I stop recording. Look how rich and yellow. This is 18 karat gold, so 75% gold. This is 58.5% gold as 14 karat. Look at the difference. Very rich and buttery yellow. Very, very rich and royal, and you can tell that's 18 karat. Even if it wasn't signed, you could still tell that's 18 karat gold as opposed to 14 karat. 10 karat looks very similar to 14 karat, and unfortunately, I don't have any 10 karat out on my desk right now. I have yellow gold out on my desk, but I don't have any 14 or 10 karat as a chain, but it looks very similar to 14 karat. So 10 and 14 are very similar in their color. 18 karat and even higher, like 22 karat or 24 karat, is even more rich than that. So just look at color and, like I've said before, solder seams. Look at the way that's constructed. Solid and beautiful quality. Be careful that that mark isn't fake. Be careful that that is a genuine gold mark. But that's a beautiful bracelet. Very substantial, very good size, and very heavy in its weight. On to while you're here. I also brought, and this is my pocket scale. So this just swivels this way for travel. Okay, you don't have to get a Microtech. I don't get any money from that company for this, but you just turn it on here and then you can clear it out over here, and then this is your scale. So it's not only protecting this piece in travel, but then it also weighs your items in grams. I do all of my weights in grams. That's because I'm old school. I don't do penny weight, but a lot of people will do penny weight. Whatever is your preference is what you should do. That's what I've always said about anyone in the business. No one is wrong with that. It's just that we do things differently. This is the little Chinese cloisonne and beautifully enameled flower little miniature that I found, and that was in the house on a $3 shelf. I loved that. Yes, there's wear to the soil, but it just made it look all the more natural to me. And yeah, it's kind of smashed down a little bit in different places, and there's some chips to the enamel, but I loved that for a little miniature Chinese floral. I just thought that was great. A little shelf sitter, so its only job is just to sit around and be pretty, and it does. It's just a beautiful thing, and made in China, and I love that too. So this was interesting, and this goes to show you, oh, these are really dirty. Hold on, I'm gonna wipe this one out because these are really, really dirty. Haven't touched these in a long time. These are fantastic. There's a set of 4 of these, and this is intaglio cut glass, little tiny panels put across the surface. I've yet to figure out exactly who was responsible for this glass, but so beautifully cut and beautifully finished. And then gold is rubbed into that engraving to give that further detail. The stems are sterling silver. Those are solid sterling silver. Very, very heavy, very well done. Sterling silver, completely hand wrought. Let me look and see if I can find the hallmark. This might be a little difficult to see. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it on there. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So there's that one. Let me zoom out and give you more space. My box is really dirty today. It's a big streak from, I was listing on eBay the other day. There's that one. And then let me wipe this one out because this one's just dusty on the inside. These have been sitting for a long time and I didn't think of cleaning them. Look at that one. So it's a set of 4. And these are cordials, according to what my knowledge on such things. These are tiny little cordials. I believe they are from France. I'm almost certain they're French. There is a possibility that they are Austria and then moved through France at some point. But I believe that these are from France. And here's the 4th one. But look at the detail on these. They are just so... This defines exquisite. This defines old world money. This defines elegance. This defines... These would be the finest cordials that a person could buy right before the turn of the century, right before 1900. So probably around 1895 to right at 1900. Beautifully done. And I don't polish my silver. Some people would say, you need to polish your silver. Well, it's mine, and I'm not going to polish it. I'm just not doing that. I don't want to, and I won't. So if I were to sell these and someone else wanted to polish them, go for it. When they live in my house, they're not polished, and I love them. I absolutely love these, and look how elegant they are, and that gold rim on the top. But I loved how intricate these were, and the beauty of that carving, and then that excellent, excellent base. So I bought those at the sale, and that was $40 for the set. Unattributed, both in glass and silver, and I'm not exactly sure. I mean, like I said, some people could say Mosaic, some people could just say European. I consider them beautiful, and I will do some further research to try and figure these out. But again, value on these, I would say between 100 and 150 per stem. Some people would disagree, and some people would say, no, much lower. And then some people would say, oh, no, much higher. $200 to $300 a stem. I feel very confident that the price should be right where I put it. And maybe each one should be $135 each. Does that, compound and multiply and get greater and magnify by having 4 of them? No, not necessarily, because I think there is probably a set of 6 6 or 8 or even 12 at some point. And I would think that they probably sat on a base of some sort with a long post that kept these from tipping over because they're in such remarkable condition. And I hope you can see the detail on those and see why I love them so much. So that was another major score. I stashed them in my stuff just because I wanted to do some more research on them, and then the more I was around them, I decided I kind of wanted to keep them. This was also another great find, and I love gemstones, but I'm not a real fan of blue topaz, but when blue topaz looks this good, as I trip over my words because I get lost in this color, when blue topaz looks this good and this saturated, I am 100% in. I love that. Look at my dirty, dirty hands. Unbelievable. It shows you that I work hard. It shows you that I work tirelessly every day. That's what it shows you. I guess I should clean my hands before I come on here so I don't get yelled at. This is blue topaz and 14 karat gold. And they just missed the mark. It's up underneath this. It's signed up inside this fold down bail, and that just is fold down as an enhancer so it can go on beads or pearls, but it's signed down in there 14 karat. That's a very large royal blue topaz. Could you consider that London blue? I suppose. I don't get carried away with some of the misnomers that people will use in certain stones, but for me, I just consider that lush and gorgeous blue topaz. I love that. I think it's beautiful. I think it's classy. I do think it's timeless, and I would say that size stone, it's probably around 27, between 27 and 32 carats is my guess, based on one that I have that's similar. But I loved the cut of that, and that was very, very inexpensive. I don't really want to comment on what I paid because I will be selling that. Now, this is the one that really freaked me out. And I know all the rhinestone lovers are going to go crazy because they're going to know what this is. This is Schreiner of New York, and this came to me, oh boy, from the second sale, and I never expected to see it because of all the other dealers that were there, but some days you never know why some people will buy certain things and not buy others. So I always say go to the sales no matter who was there. This is the original chain to this brooch and pendant, and this is Schreiner of New York. I will be bringing this back to future videos on rhinestones, so if you see this again, please forgive me because I don't like to repeat myself in my videos. I think they may have just missed the mark, and when you look close, it's right there, and it says clearly Schreiner and New York. So this is called a keystone and cabochon rhinestone brooch. The center is glass. That is slide glass in purple, but look at the size of this. I have huge hands. This is a monstrous brooch. So the blue cabochons are icy blue glass, and then those beautiful elongated, tapered baguette, which are called keystones. They used these in the ruffle pins. So if you hear someone say Schreiner ruffle pin, those are the pins that online have been going for several thousand. They've been going for, some have been going up to 4,000 or 5,000 depending on color, size, and condition. And this one, I'm not going to really get into value on this because of what I paid. I paid $30. 30. I will say that personally, I got to be careful. I wouldn't sell it for anything less than $1,500 right now, and I probably wouldn't sell it for any less than $2,500. So I'll just leave that as the range. But look at the quality of the rhodium plating and the quality of those stones. And let me explain the chain. So you see in Schreiner, sometimes there will be one of these hooks on the back of a Schreiner brooch or pendant brooch. So this chain, look at how great this is that I found the chain. And the chain wasn't by the brooch, by the way. So this chain connects here. Let me see if, the chain connects there. And then the other portion of the chain connects here. Oops. Let's see here, connects there. So now it turns the Schreiner brooch into a Schreiner pendant necklace. Let me zoom back out a little bit. So now you can see that original silver plated chain, that is a Schreiner hook, by the way. That is a known Schreiner hook. Sometimes on Schreiner, you will see a little bit of an extender on this. So just be aware that sometimes there will be another extender with stones and circles that you can extend the pendant. But this one was just fixed in place because that chain is so long. And look at the condition of the silver-plated chain. I don't think this person wore the brooch or the necklace ever. I think this is simply unworn. I don't see any scratches. It's in remarkable condition. So that's a winner. And again, that was, me dressed as a superhero going into an estate sale after all the dealers had already been through and still finding this incredible gem that I've loved for so long. Let me take this off of here for storage purpose. I don't want to ever ruin anything. So that just slips off of there. And then this side slips off of there like that. And then you've got your brooch back. But I know all the people that love rhinestone are going absolutely ballistic. They're going crazy to see a Schreiner in that color and in that condition. It's perfect, by the way. There's not a single problem with it. So if you find Schreiner of New York, remember that's in the top 20. I mentioned a top 20 designers, and that's in the top 20. There's no denying it. And it's not just a fad online. Schreiner has always been a leader in rhinestone brooches, so this is not a fad. I talk about fads, and that is simply not a fad. Schreiner is not a fad, and I don't say that just because I own one. I say that because it's truthful. So we'll move that out of the way. I'll get that back into a safe place, and then this was the little whisper that I thought was just incredible, and I knew as soon as I saw this that this was Tiffany FAVRILE. I knew that it was Tiffany FAVRILE glass, and if you Google Tiffany FAVRILE, you will see such pieces on eBay. Some are signed and some are not. This is not signed, and I'm so glad that it wasn't signed. Normally people would say, oh, I wish that was signed. There is a little flea bite here on one of the legs, and there's a little flea bite here, and that's much larger of a flea bite, but that's tiny in comparison to where these sit on these feet. Now you might say, why are these feet so much shorter than these feet? Well, because this was handmade, and look at where this little leg was situated from the bottom. This is handmade, so these needed to be cut lower, so this sits very level. If you were to look across this, you can see that this vessel then sits flush. This sits like it should. So that's why those legs, they're not cut down. That's the original ground down and polished. And again, there is no LCT. It's, no, wait, let me think here. Yeah, LCT, Louis Comfort Tiffany. There is no LCT mark on here. This is not Steuben Henri. This is 100% Tiffany FAVRILE art glass. And look at the sheen on that. That iridescent purple and blue and green on a gold. It's just that fantastic. I paid $4 for this on a miniature shelf in the living room of the sale. And I think the last one I saw on eBay that sold, I think it sold for $208 or $205, just over $200. So again, it wasn't life-altering Tiffany glass, but it's just an awesome thing that you never know what you will find at an estate sale. And that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a good giggle out of the thumbnail. And you know how I end these. I love you so incredibly much. Please go back to my past videos. Please give them a like and a share. Again, I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. You are slowly but surely changing my life path, and I appreciate you more than I can ever say. Thank you, and I love you.